Hello! Welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is episode 77. You can find me online everywhere as Carolien, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, the works. I have an Etsy shop, carolien.etsy.com or colourfulcreativity.nl. And there is a Ravelry group for this podcast, the Colourful Creativity group, which you can find in the group section on Ravelry. Welcome everyone! Welcome back to all returning viewers and welcome to all new viewers. I'm happy you are taking a bit of your time and spend it with me and with Vinks. I have no clue. I think it's just when I sit down, put up the camera and start talking to it, he just jumps on my lap. He's just silly like that. Maybe he thinks I'm talking to him or something. No clue. Oh well, so I hope you all had a great week because it's only been a week and I'm already back. Probably next time will be 2 weeks, but we'll see what happens. I'm expecting to have a bit of a blurry vision with a bandage next week because of having to have a mole removed there. Not because it's not good, just because it bugs me. It's in the way of my glasses. So, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about all the yarn stuff and pretties and knitting and crochet. Yeah, also crochet. Yeah, I actually quite like being back at crochet at the moment. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. Then, let me check my notes. I have quite some acquisitions again. Oops. No, not oops. I ordered them last year and they came finally. And I have a new acquisition from this year, which I ordered this week. And it came the day after, so they were really quick. First, though, I have a finished object to show you. My Christmas Eve cast-on socks are finished. Also known as XoXo 2018 socks. And this is my first finish of 2019. The yarn I used is by Stracki. And she is from Germany. And this was a yarn club. So her Ringel Abo. And this was from December 2017. And it has really nice sparkly gold in it. She asks upfront what your preference is. Gold, silver, color combinations you love. So I said gold, neon, rainbow, and also my love for something petrol, yellow, orange, and teal. So yeah, I have this one. There was a neon rainbow and there also was a bit of a Halloween colorway. So orange, petrol, teal-ish. I think there was also some purple in it. So yeah, I still have 2 balls left in the self-striping pile from her Ringel Abo. I really like it. I knit these socks cuff down. And I didn't do a matchy. This is how they were. This is sock 1, sock 2, heel flap heel with just a slip stitch heel flap. And then I just tried it on and they are not the same. I know my left foot is a little bit bigger than my right foot, so this is my right and this is my left. I put it on and when my teeny tiny toe was just in there, I put the toe on and they fit perfectly. It's a shame not to wear them, but I really want to keep them nice and crisp until Christmas next year. So probably the first of Advent, these socks will go out the drawer. And maybe by that time I will have some more festive socks, I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of Christmas yarn, so I should buy some more. I knit these on 2.5mm higher sharps, circular needles, and yeah, just my go-to recipe. 64 stitches, 2x2 rib, leg as long as I liked. And then I did the heel flap and gusset heel, because I just want to get better at it and make my socks fit better with that method. And then just a regular foot straight to the finish line, and my rounded toe recipe, and then the Kitchener, of course, because I love Kitchenering socks. What do you do? I love knitting toe up, but I love Kitchenering toes, so I just started to love curved down socks. And on that note, in my department of making socks bag, I know, oh, Chatty Cat's Creations is where this one's from. I know I said this was the year of sweater, and still we have a sock project bag, but that is for a very special reason, because my friend Petra from Undercover Otter sent me 2 skeins of yarn after me saying yes you can. She needs samples. She will be vending this year at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, Vrijdagen in Amsterdam. She's local there, so yeah, that was a no-brainer. And also in Dublin at Woolin. So she needs samples, and she loves knitting shawls and garments, but she hates knitting socks. Well, hello, my dear friend. I love knitting socks, so send me over and I'll knit you some samples. So that's what I'm doing. No second sock syndrome here. Absolutely not, because I only have to knit 1 of each, which is awesome. She sent me the yarn on Saturday. Saturday morning I finished that XoXo pair of socks, the Christmas Eve cast on. And by noon the yarn came in. It's this one, and I will look ahead for you guys. Also this one. That one I will show you in the acquisitions part. But this one is called Dagon. Upside down. Very good. So here it is. Dagon. Dagon. I have no clue how to pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. I think dragon, so Dagon. Dagger is also. In Dutch we would say Dagon. So no clue. Whatever. Her squirm base, there it says it's 80% merino and 20% nylon, just like my soft sock base. And yeah, pretty blues. You know I'm not a blue fan, but I'm just knitting a sock. And this is how far I came. So by noon I had the yarn delivery at home, and then by 3 I had 2 cakes and the patterns ready to go. And I cast on this one first because this one seemed to be the most difficult. This is, for you a close-up, the Manhole Socks by Yarnison or Jane Murrison. And yeah, I thought this would be a challenge and difficult. After I think 4 rows I had memorized the pattern already, and yeah, this is absolute fun to knit. I cast on the medium size. This is where we're gonna put in the heel when we finish the foot. So I'm now on the foot already. Where the marker is the end of the leg. So I did about 1.5 inches, I think, on the foot. I need to do a size 41 EU, and because it's an afterthought heel, well, I don't have to knit that many centimeters. I think I have to do about 18 centimeters. So still, I think about 14 to go. And then I can do the toe, which is a really special toe if you don't know the pattern. It's a ribbed round toe, and also the heel is the same as the toe. It's also ribbed and round, and it's from manholes, so the thing on the ground where people go in to check everything that's underground. So the lids on it, that's what inspired it. She's really into urban texture and that sort of things in her patterns, Yarnison, which is really cool. And this pattern was on my wish list to knit. And now I am knitting it. So the whole knitting sweaters thing is already, well, it's not failing. I mean, I have a whole year for it. But starting the sweater will be on the to-do list after I finish these socks. Of course, knitting these on 2.5mm high sharps, and not much else to say. Just that this one is pretty much the one I'm working on most, because of reasons that I just want them done. I mean, if you get a commission, you just have to work on it. That's how I feel. And I know there's still time. It's still not Edinburgh time. Edinburgh, whatever. But still, it feels like I have to knit on them. So those are getting the most attention. But in my Owl About Yarn rainbow TARDIS bag, I got at the Knit Tea Retreat, I have my rainbow project, and this one's going slow because of that one, but also because 2x2 rib for more than 10-20 rounds is absolutely boring. I think I was at the point where the marker is, so down here, and I did these rows, and I just have to put it away every time because I'm bored with 2x2 rib. I have to say it comes along really nicely. I cast on 60 stitches and I'm using a 2.5mm high sharp needle. I'm just fudging a bit with the pattern. The pattern I'm using is the Gem Gloves, and it is by Pearl Soho. You can find it on their website for free. So I was like, yeah, I will just fudge here and there after having a false start. I'm having a bit of a cold. Maybe you can hear it. My nose is itchy and my throat gets dry really quickly. But yeah, I really love how this rainbow is gonna look. These are gonna be gloves, so fingered gloves. After the first one, I would probably think again that I really like the idea, but I really want to pair with this. This is West Yorkshire Spinner's yarn, and the colorway is 822, but I think the name was Rum Punch. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and I really have to look it up for next time. I think the pattern suggests a 2.75mm needle. Not sure. I looked at different glove patterns and I just know with that pattern that I have to do 4 inch of 2x2 rib. I'm like, okay. I will go through with that, but yeah, not the most fun. Then this oldie came out of hiding. In my Jibberoo Sews Star Wars Halloween bag, because Star Wars no care about Halloween. I have a pair of socks that are lingering, and I also see a yarn barf issue upcoming that I will fix on camera. Oh, disintegrating balls. I mean, look at this one. I didn't wind it properly. Nowadays I just wind them from the skein to the ball, and then I rewind them so they are prettier and not too tight and not too whatever. But these have been in Yeah, this one has the same problem. They probably have been too tight in my whip stack, whatever. I just pushed them in a bin. I probably pushed too hard. The yarn that you see here is Trailing Clouds Mind the Gap, and this is a BFL nylon base sock yarn. I want to knit knee-high socks with these, so I call them my Pippi Longstockings, or my Pippi Langstrumpfe in German, and in Dutch it's Pippi Langkousen, because that's what they are. They're gonna be rainbowy, well, rainbowy mismatched long stockings. And I picked these up as I knew I was here, and I knew I had to pay attention to when to start the heel. I'm doing a fish lips kiss heel, and I did a few rounds and put it on, another few rounds, put it on, another few rounds, put it on. And I am halfway through the first heel. I put it away because I wanted to record the podcast. So I was like, yeah, this is the point where I can put it away safely. The heel will be interesting. This one will be going now to red. So one half will be gray and the other half will be red. That's nice. And this one will be a bit of green, a bit of yellow, and probably a bit of brown. Oh, that's fine. They're gonna be crazy, stripy, very colorful socks. I'm knitting these when I show you the needle case, which is also by Undercover Otter. This was in our advent calendar 2 years ago. It's a real Undercover Otter. 2.25 millimeter needle, because this is a light fingering weight yarn, and when I knit that on my go-to 2.5 millimeter, I think it's too loose, and I like my socks like concrete, like stiff as hell, and I think this will match that. I had a mistake in a different sock where I did the heel in a 2.5 millimeter while the rest was color work, and the color work can handle 2.5 perfectly, but the heel with the single color was like so sloppy and way too loose and not nice when wearing it. You can feel all the threads, the single lines, everything under your feet. That's no fun. Yeah, this was on the back burner because I'm a bit scared for the whole knee-high thing. I see a stitch that is a bit weird. Nothing wrong there, it's just the yarn. Probably a little felted bit where the yarn had snapped or something. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about my calves and the increases and how to do that gradually and still look pretty. So I have to look up patterns and see how they do it, but most patterns were cuffed down that I found. Yeah, I'm knitting toe up because I want to use as much yarn as I can on these socks, as high as possible. And I didn't run out of yarn at the end. Now I have to say I have 100 grams per sock, which is ridiculous. I can probably make over knees or maybe tights from these. Let's see how far we're gonna go. But I am looking forward to having knee-high socks, because when, like now, it's nice weather, but it's actually freezing cold. It's 1 degree outside or something. It would be nice to have warm knees, or at least warm shins, because I tend to get shin splints very easily. So hopefully you will see that again next time, and I will have found a solution for the whole matter of how to do my increases. Then, combined in these two project bags, This is by Frogpeak Creations, my sock monkey bag. And Frogpeak Creations has a very generous offer for you guys, 15% off with Colourful 15 in her Etsy shop, frogpeakcreations.etsy.com. Together in this bag by All About Yarn, another TARDIS bag by Jenny. I have my Riverstone blanket and it has doubled in size. This is what I had and what you've seen. All ends woven in. Yes. And this is what I made. I went with the yellow, which is the next one. So I can show you a little bit. This is supposed to go together. Well, actually on this side and on this side. Maybe I can do it something like this. On this side you will get this, and this one goes there, like this. Let me put it like this. I hope this makes sense. Probably not this way around. So that's how I'm gonna add them all. And there will be a border in between. And I have a very handy basket next to me now. And this is the color that will be around everything. So yeah, I wove in all the ends because that's what I do nowadays, apparently. No, I was bored with the sock. I had to do the heel on the other one, which needs attention. And I was like, I need to weave in the ends someday, and I wanted to connect the squares also. So I actually, about this one, I quit doing the attaching them, joining the squares together with that one thread. That's the end. It says in the pattern to use the tail, make it a 50 centimeter tail, 40 or 50 centimeters tail, and use that to weave them together. I find that's tedious because you also have this little bit left up here. So what I do is I just weave that end in and take a new one and then do this and do that. Or this way around probably. Do this one and do that one, because then I can use the right color for it. And I just weave in the extra end. I don't care. Yeah, me weaving in ends, I don't care what happened. It was actually quite mindful to do, and that's what I have with crochet. It's really mindful, that movement that I do not have to pay too much attention to. I really like it. I think I crocheted the 8 squares in 2 evenings watching TV. I can do like one block of 4 in an evening when we don't start too late. So, and next up will probably be something fancy from this one. I think I'm gonna go with green. I think that's the next row, or that's the other side. That could also be that it's green and yellow in one row. I have to check that. I actually should get my markers out and color it in so it makes it visually pleasing in my chart. But hey, you can't have everything in one day. Checking at my notes. Yeah. One thing left. I told you I wanted to knit a sweater, and the first sweater I want to try is the Portulaca cardigan, which is by Carol Feller and also has a Craftsy class, which I bought. So I already had the pattern. I had bought it ages ago because I thought, I don't need a Craftsy class. Now Craftsy changed and has a monthly subscription fee, and I was like, okay, I could do that. So I ordered it. I subscribed. It's not really like you order it. I subscribed to it. It's not called Craftsy anymore. It's Blueprint. I'll put in a link. I'm not even sure if I share it that it will give me a discount. I'll see if I have that. That would be nice. Otherwise, just go there. But I thought it would be handy to swatch for the cardigan. And let me show you what is next to me. It's a little basket of lots of yarn. This is my... I'm gonna knit this in the future. ASAP. Probably this should all be gone by next month. Or at least almost all gone. This is a pair of socks for my godson that has to be knit up soon. This is, I want to knit this, so that's really, really selfish. This is a cat sweater. I have another skein of yarn somewhere next to me probably. This is a pair of socks. I want to do some face cloths so I can take off my makeup with something that I don't have to throw away. So if anyone has a good pattern suggestion for me, then please let me know. I have the Lily Sugar and Cream in 2 colors, and what I was thinking was just garter, but I don't like the look that much. This is for my blanket, and then of course there's this one for a pair of socks as well, because I really would like a pair of extra soft Knit Picks Felici yarn. And in here is also this one, and that's what I'm going to talk about. And that one sock blocker is in there so I can try on the sock that I'm knitting for Petra. I have made a swatch for my Portulaca cardigan. Yes, I swatched. And it was good. It was really, really good. I have drops Nepal yarn in the leftover color from my grand's cardigan, which is not actually my mom's cardigan because it's too heavy for my grand. It weighs almost 1 kilo and she just feels like, ugh, she is like this, and putting it on her shoulders was too heavy. So we ordered more yarn. More about that later. But I have it in this color for the Portulaca. So, bloopers. I have it in this color for the Portulaca cardigan. But I thought, I'm not sure if I have enough yarn, so since my mom had leftover, same quality. Fine. Swatching. I knit up with 5mm needles until here. There's a little yarn over knit 2 together for me, so I can see that I switched needles there. And I measured while knitting, and I had a gauge of 14 stitches per 4 inch. I was like, nope, I need 18 stitches. Yeah, I think it was 18 stitches. 14 is not 18. So I switched to a smaller needle, and then I got something else. I think it was 16. Then I was like, no, not gonna happen. Then I checked the yarn, and the yarn, the meters on this yarn, and I was like, it's wrong. I mean, this is 75 meters, and what I needed was something more like 90 meters per 50 gram ball. I think it was 190 meters per 100 gram. And this is only 150. So this is too thick. I think this is Aran and I need worsted. Something like that. So that is what swatching did for me. I went on, I did the cables, I checked it. I don't like the fabric in 4.5mm because it's really stiff. With the cables in it, it can probably stand by itself when I knit it in this yarn and the pattern. The cables also take too much room, so that gauge wasn't correct either. and I cast it off and I measured it again. So my gauge is 18 stitches per 4 inch on the 4.5 millimeter, so it's spot on. The gauge for 5 millimeter is 16 stitches per inch, not 14. So lesson learned. Swatch and really make the swatch and do not measure it on the needles. So maybe that makes me hate swatching less. I'm teaching my mom and my mother-in-law as well that swatching is good for you and that you have to keep your swatch in mind. My mother-in-law had a cardigan. She's knitting it at the moment, the Rainbow Party Cardi. And she's on the sleeve and she had 80 rounds and it only came up to here. The pattern says it's just a 7/8. It's like until here with the ribbing, and the ribbing is only 5 centimeters, I think, 2 inch, maybe 5 inch, not sure. But she was missing a piece. So I asked her, what did your swatch say? Did you have the right row gauge or did you have to do an extra couple of rows to get there? She went, oh crap, I totally forgot about the swatch. Thank you for reminding me. I have to keep that in mind. Yes, you do. She didn't know that you have to do alternating skeins with hand-dyed yarn as well. So that's interesting. Her bottom half is lighter than her upper half, but she says she doesn't mind. I think most of all she doesn't like the frog, but she's fine. So lessons in swatching. Then we come to acquisitions, and which brings me to the new yarn I bought, because that Portulaca cardigan really wants to be knit because I love it. And instead of Drops Nepal, I got Drops Lima. I got 20 balls. With this, I just got one out for you guys. It's a petrol color. It's really pretty, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, oops. No, that's not what I thought. I thought, oh crap. I got something that's really, really dark, and it's really dark in the evenings, and that's not really smart, Carolien. That's not smart. But I love the color, and I didn't want to knit exactly the same one as this one, because this one now is for a different sweater. I forgot the name. I printed out the pattern. I have them both now, but yeah, I think these are absolutely gorgeous. But two exactly the same shade greens would bug me. It would bore me to bits, probably. So yeah, I got this one. It's dark blue with green in it. It's really, really pretty. Drops Lima Mix is what it's called. And it was really, really cheap because, well, frankly, like I told you, I'm not a huge fan of Drops yarn, but I paid 39 euros for 20 balls so I could knit myself a garment. And this is alpaca and wool. Yeah, just wool. Wool and alpaca. It's okay. It's not the softest, even though the alpaca is really soft. But I can feel that the wool is not super soft. I have a very sensitive skin for that. Let's just leave it at that. But for my first time doing big project like that, I don't want to ruin like 200 euros of yarn. I know that's scroogey of me, that I don't think I deserve the expensive yarn. I think I do, but then it is on the second try and not on the first. The first try I could have done in acrylic, but that's against my yarn snobbery. So yeah, that's the next step. The drops yarn, and the step over that is more expensive commercially, and then it's indie dyed, and probably gonna skip the more expensive commercial and go to indie dyed right away. Probably my own, because yeah, that's cheaper. Acquisitions further. There I forgot where we were. This is the other beautiful yarn I got from Petra to knit a sample sock with. The colorway is called Hard Candy. And here you can see her label, not folded. This is also her squirm base, because that's the base she's taking to all the yarn shows. I think it's one of her most popular bases. Also, I have like a box full of soft sock from different dyers, and most of them are by Petra. I really like it. I mean, it's a moderately speckled yarn, lightly to moderate, with orange and pink and reds, and it really reminds me of the candy zuurtjes, like we would call it in Dutch. I love it. And the pattern I'm gonna use for this is called the Prairie Girl Socks, I think. I suggested it, that it would be nice in that, and this is a beautiful textured sock that has not too difficult texture. So I wanted to do the manhole socks first, and then easy on the Prairie Girl socks. Like, oh, nice, as a treat for myself. I kept the best for last. Then I can see how long this is already running. So I am not going to show you what's in this bag, but I am going to show you the bag. I have here a brand new project bag, and it is so sturdy and thick and beautiful, and it has pockets in here with grommets, and it is by Tenny Cassie. Here is all her info. She has a beautiful Etsy shop, tennycassie.etsy.com, and I came upon her by the lovely Hooker's Corner. She got some bags by her, and I was like, oh my. And then I looked in the shop, and then I saw this one, a knitting print bag, and I need a sweater sized bag. I'm really into sweater sized bags, people, because I'm gonna knit more sweaters and less small projects. So yeah, I am absolutely in love with this one. And in here I have kept all the yarn that came in the last 3 weeks, and I'm gonna put it away because I will keep it to the next one. But I do want to show this one. This is a needle cozy I won, and this is by Knit Spin Quilt, and her Etsy shop is on this side, knitspinquilt.etsy.com, or etsy.com/shop/knitspinquilt, but that's not necessary if you know that you can turn it around. Then you get a beautiful, nice URL, and you don't have to do the whole big link. So for people who don't know that, you can just put your shop name in front of and then say .etsy.com. That's it. Beautiful rainbow needle cozy, which I won in the Kino Knits counterpoint knit along that she organized together with Paper Daisy Creations. Remember from the shawl I test knit and the lateral quadrant mittens. So yeah, that was that. And that was not all I wanted to show you, because that's why I thought I should hurry up. I have been dyeing again, people. Look what I made. This is still wet. I just washed it, but I wanted to show you. This is Rising Rainbows. A light pink with a rainbow in it. And because it was my first day back at the dye pots, I was like, I am gonna treat myself to something. I'm very happy this is already looking better than it was just half an hour ago. This is a gradient, multiple gradients, of course. You can see there's 4 separate ones. This is no, not 100%. This is 75% merino and 25% nylon, and this is superwash treated fiber. And this is my treat for myself for getting back to dye. This is something I've been meaning to do for a while, and that is spinning up a gradient in sock yarn, and preferably a rainbow gradient. And since I haven't found it, I just thought with the leftover dye I would dye it myself. And yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with how it looks, because I experimented and it failed miserably what I wanted. So I was like, oh god, no, everything's gonna be muddy and all soaked through and mixed with colors, but that didn't happen. Yay, I'm very happy with that. So I will leave that to dry and then see if I can finish my other project on my spinning wheel, and then just start this one, because maybe that will get me into spinning again. As for the shop, it's open again, so you can shop again. The Rising Rainbow was actually a custom order, but I dyed a little more, so that will be in the shop update probably in a week or 2. I don't have a set date because, well, for one product I don't want to do a shop update, and I have to see how the little surgery goes next week, what I can do and what I can't do, and if it's really painful. I have no clue, because it's just bone here and there's no real fat tissue, so I'm just not thinking about it yet. I'm like, I will see it. Last time here it was absolutely no problem, so I'm not sure what will happen. But the shop is open, all shipping prices have been adjusted. I have one thing to say about it: tracking is always included, as well as insurance for international shipping. So you don't have to do an upgrade or anything, you just get that. And no, there's no option to not get it and get it cheaper, because this is already the cheapest option, which sucks big time. But other side is that's really nice to know when your shipment is due, and when you can just track the whole thing, and when something goes wrong you can see where your package is, and we just have proof, and we can just smack the postal service with that. So yeah, I think for this week we can leave it at that. I'm absolutely amazed that I can in a week accumulate so many things to talk about, that we still are at 45 minutes. And when I do 2 weeks, it's like not even that much longer. It's really, really absurd. I wanted to do shorter episodes, but apparently I can't manage that. And I have too much to talk about nowadays. You can see I feel more comfortable in front of the camera and talk about things. So, but for next time, I'm guessing in 2 weeks. So hopefully I'll see you then. Bye bye.